Okay, I'm back, and as sleep deprived as I am, I'm going to attempt this one more time. So, the name of my stream is Copper because of this little guy right here. This is Copper. Yes, and he is the reason I missed the first official opening of our official reading. God, maybe I shouldn't do this. The reason I missed the first official reading of the book club is because of this little guy right here. Yes. And I don't want to tell the whole story again. I don't want to. I wonder if I can get somebody to like take the story part out of the stream I just did and then like tack it onto this one. Okay. All right, you know what? I'll just see if they can cut it from the other one and tack it onto this one. But he is so cute. Or maybe I can just cut out the story and then do that by itself. And then I can change the title of this stream later and it'll be fine. I think that's a good idea. I think that's probably a better idea. But I need to pin the link. Yes, that is definitely what I need to do. And he's not wrong. I am sleep deprived, but I am going to keep going anyway. And why is that not showing? Okay. No, don't. Hey. Did I not start a new stream? I mean, I could have sworn I did. I put this one on private and I started a new one, but it's acting like I didn't start a new one. Oh, there it is. Yay. No, that's not it. That is the first one. Oh, I guess it just made the one I was already doing private, but how did it do that when I ended it? And I know Midnight was saying I didn't end it. I did end it. I had removed myself, brought myself back, and ended it, so this one's public. Okay, so maybe I just don't see it on my end yet for some reason. This is what happens when you wake up every hour. And you also still go to work. So it's okay though. I will slowly be functioning again. Anyway, this little cutie is a mess, and he is absolutely adorable. And he wants to chew on everything, my shoelaces, these, everything. He has a little cat. Okay, it is so cute. It's supposed to, I just knocked over toothpicks, of all things. It's supposed to be a cat toy, but he absolutely loves it, and it's so funny. Hold on. He already chewed the tip off of it. It's a carrot. And he loves this thing. You're a cutie. I think he wants to go lay down. Or he wants me to feed him again, but we'll get there in a little bit. It's not time yet. Although I'm glad you're eating on his own. He really likes boiled chicken. It's his favorite thing to eat. Anyway, he's a cutie, and I can no longer rehome him, and he's the new addition to the home. Yep, new addition to the house, and he is absolutely adorable, and I'm a mess. My hair is a mess. My clothes are a mess. I am a mess. But he is absolutely worth it, and it is really, really good to see him feeling better. What? You want to climb? I know. I know. You're like a little monkey. He's so cute. I do wish we could have saved his sisters, though. They were like attached at the hip and inseparable, and that just broke my heart. What? What? What is it? Okay. Well, what do you want? You want to climb or you want down? Because you're being confusing. You can't decide either? What? Oh, you're chewing on my zipper. I was like, what is he doing? Say hi. Can you say hi? Say hi. Okay, I'll let you go lay down. Put you on your fluffy pillow throne over here while I sleep on the floor, and you've got a fluffy pillow throne. That's okay. It's okay. I wonder where Midnight went. He's probably like, she's too tired for this. I'm not gonna help her stick her foot in her mouth. I don't really know. Yay. Why does it do that? I'm trying to pin the comment and I don't know if it's being difficult or it's just difficult for me at the moment. Do you know what I mean? So how's everyone else's, I don't know, how long, like couple of weeks? How's everyone else's couple of weeks been going? Oh, like that little thing can be a guard dog. It's all right. We can leave the guarding to the 50-pound and the 60-pound dog. He just he just needs to start putting on some weight. So the other live that I had to take down had this story about him. And I had to take it down because I'm sleep deprived, and I said something that I shouldn't have said. I said Super Munchkin's real name and real first name, and that's not good. So I had to take it down. But we found him and his sister in not great shape. And they were absolutely inseparable, attached at the hip. And I had found a home that wasn't going to separate them. But she was diagnosed with parvo, and I did everything I could to save her, and I couldn't. And the day after she died, he was diagnosed with parvo. And it was real touch and go there for a minute. We were all really, really worried. And for both of them, I got to a point where I was sleeping on the floor and waking up every hour to syringe feed them bone broth and Pedialyte water. Like, it was really touch and go. But he seems to be pulling through. He's kind of on the other side of it. He's eating again. He loves boiled chicken. He's been hyper and playful. He's starting to get his energy back. And I decided I can't rehome him after all, so his name is Copper now. And we are in quarantine together at the moment because he can't be around my other dogs for 2 weeks, and he can't be around more than my dogs for 4 weeks. So he and I are kind of quarantining together at the moment.
You're almost through it. You're almost through it, Mama. You almost got it. 2 more weeks. Just like 2 more weeks. You almost got it.
And they were like, "Are you gonna ask off?"
I just want to sleep, you bitch.
Yeah. They were like, "Are you gonna take time off while you look after the puppy?" And I was like, "Hell no. I can't. I have my time off planned. I'm gonna take care of the puppy and then I'm gonna work."
Yeah.
And I've been doing that, and I've been fine. I'm really happy it's a weekend though, because
well, yeah. And
well,
you've been doing awesome. Like, I know you hear it all the time, but you've been doing awesome. Like, and it's gonna 2 more weeks, 4 more weeks. That's nothing. You know,
I'm so excited.
It seems so much, especially when you're sleep deprived.
Well, now that it'll get easier from here anyway, because I'm sleeping on the floor, whatever. But I don't. Yesterday, because it moved from having because when I say I woke up every hour, I literally had an alarm set for every hour. And I didn't sleep all the time in between those hours because I had to do a lot of feeding and monitoring and all that. So I would get like 3 hours of sleep a night. And then I'd work and still have to take care of him every hour on the hour. And so I was just exhausted. And he was doing so well yesterday that I was like, okay, I can move it to like 2 hours. I can wake up every 2 to 3 hours.
You're gonna have to start adjusting. You know, so, it's gonna be hard.
So Super Munchkin, bless her little heart, she came and crashed with the puppy and let me go to bed. Yeah, but
aw, you're doing so good though. Even though you're so tired, oh my god, it's
Wait, did I say Super Munchkin or did I say?
You said Super Munchkin.
Okay, we're good. We're good. I'm doing okay this time.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Don't worry about it. You're good. And also, like, I know what it's like doing frontline responder. You're just not sleeping. You literally are setting an alarm for every hour, you know, especially on a long shift because, like, well, you know, you're doing awesome, Pixie.
I'm trying. I'm glad he's pulling through because I would have hate to have lost them both. But it happens when you rescue. Like, all my pets are rescues. Like I said, Victor had a huge
rescues gash. Are the best pets.
Oh yeah, they're so loyal. Victor had a huge open gash, deep gash all the way down his back when we got him. I found Onyx frozen to a porch. She was frozen, stuck to a porch in a snowstorm. I had to take buckets of warm water. She was another one. She never got parvo, but her immune system had bottomed out so bad that she had like a mange, not a contagious type of mange.
Yeah,
yeah, and she had bladder control issues for like 2 years. Anytime she got excited or scared.
Well, and sometimes that's oh my god.
Yeah, she was very easily frightened. It took a lot, but she's the oldest one. She's the alpha, and she is my dog. that's my princess right there is Onyx. Love that baby.
No, rescues are the best pets. Like Zeus was a rescue. Kitty was sort of an accident. I did not plan on that feral beast. Like she just no, she would destroy my she loved paper. So I would write like this. I was in university, write a paper. She would like shred it up. I would have to leave it on like the top shelf just while I was trying to leave the apartment to go to the bus. And like my final day, that little bitch got it. My final thesis, I got a C on that. And I was like, I'm sorry, my cat ate it. And they're like, that's not an acceptable excuse in university. I'm like, okay, I got a C. I don't care. I tried my best. And this was back like in the early, like late 90s. So you had those horrible dot matrix printers, you know, that ka-ching, 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 ka-ching.
Okay.
You know that, yeah.
All right. This is
that. 6 hours she ate that.
I didn't have one. I had.
Oh, you're so
I'm trying
lucky.
to think. In all of my high school years, I had the internet for maybe 1 year, and I didn't even have a printer, right? Most of the time, though, okay, like I grew up really poor, like really, really poor. And I didn't have a computer, I didn't have a printer. I spent hours before and after school at school. That's what happened. Just typing everything up and saving it. And so my dad had bought me, again, we're very poor. It's not like he's out there buying me new things, right?
Yeah.
But he happened to run into an electric typewriter.
Oh, those were awesome.
Yes, because I had a typewriter, but I just got so tired of using it because, you know, every now and then I'd make a mistake, and they wouldn't. About the time teachers stopped accepting whiteout, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I
would just have to. I would have to take the page out and start the page all over again. And I would get so frustrated. And so my dad got me that electric typewriter where you can backspace and all that shit before you hit enter, and it actually types it, you know? And I thought, oh my God, that was the best present ever. Like, everybody had computers and printers, and I was sitting there with an electric typewriter like, this is the best thing I've ever had.
It is. It still is. Like, because at that time, like, you could still, you know, submit essays or your thesis with whiteout or stuff. And all of a sudden it changed. And I got into a point where they weren't accepting my printer. And I was like, I'm poor, right? This is all I have. We'll go to the library. I'm like, it's like a 3-hour wait to get onto anything. Like, okay, I'll wait in line. No, right? I graduated at the right time. Technology is so much better now. But no, that is awesome. You got one. Like, those are awesome.
Oh, that was God. My best friend in high school. It was my best friend in high school. All the English classes.
Yeah, well, you had a, you know, edge on a lot of other students. Even though they might have had internet access, your papers looked more professional.
You know what I had? Also, I spent a lot of time, I spent a lot of extra time at the school. I spent a lot of time at the library, but also one thing that my parents did really save for with the help of my grandparents was like a, you know, those Encyclopedia Britannica sets?
Yeah.
Okay, like I had like the complete set with like the little science books for kids, all of it. I had all of it.
Nice.
Yeah. And so if the library was closed and
You always
whatever,
had
I had the encyclopedia set right there, and I was just
yeah.
um
People like make fun of them, but they were a game changer for a lot of kids, and
oh,
you
I
know,
loved those. I
oh yeah,
loved them.
and I mean, you had this opportunity, like you say, to a library without, you could finish your essay, you could finish that project, not have to worry. And even if you were bored, because back in those days we didn't, have a lot of media, especially if you were poor. We didn't have cable, like, or if you did, it was like 3 channels.
Oh, I
Maybe,
know.
you might have got like, but I feel like we've lost something. Like we were content just reading or talking or
Oh, okay. Speaking of old TVs with 3 channels and the little dial that you don't even have a remote for,
yeah.
we had, because I was poor again. Oh, one sec. Spooky. I tried to save 2 puppies from Parvo. I only saved 1. This is Copper. He is. I was gonna rehome him, but I can't. He's now part of the family. So this this is Copper right here. We're quarantined together right now, and yeah, saved him from Parvo. Unfortunately, I couldn't save his sister, but I tried. And this little guy right here is Copper. So that is Copper. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yes. So we went from the encyclopedia set, and then I was gonna say something
Yeah,
else.
you had
I don't know, it was something that went with that.
you I Copper's so cute, and
He is so cute. He distracted me with Spooky's question.
I bet he like poked his, yeah. They're just so aw. But you just radiate love, so of course he's gonna go to you.
Sometimes I radiate the opposite.
Okay, we know that, but hey, I love you. Like I said, like Pixie Cage match. Let's like throw in the gel pit.
Oh,
We would be better than WWE,
oh, you know what though? Like, if I'm like,
fundraiser for Copper.
it's so funny though, because like, I remember throwing this kid against the wall because he pissed me off so bad. I literally just threw him against the wall, and that kid ended up being like one of my best friends in high school.
Yeah, I know. It's funny how it works out. Like, I've had that before. Like, some of my best friends. Yeah. Like,
I had completely forgotten about it. We were so close.
Yeah.
Like for so long, like years and years, that I didn't even think about it. And then he looked at me one day and he was like, "Remember when you threw me against the wall and I yelled at you that my tax dollars were gonna pay for people like you in jail?" And I was like, "Oh my god, I remember that."
Fuck, you're awesome. Hey man, I've said that to my best friends.
Oh my god, we were such a mess, but absolutely adored the kid.
Mm-hmm. What do you think has changed so much? Like, I'm just looking and it's, I don't recognize like what is happening these days. I don't know what to say or what not to say, or I'm going to say whatever, me, but at the same time, what are we teaching to the younger generation, you know, or it doesn't even matter. They're going to do their own thing anyways. It's going to be a mess.
I don't think we can look at it as a whole. And I can tell you what the
It's a
culture.
good question. Yeah.
Well, no, I just mean because, like, I'll go online and I'll see these Gen Z examples, right? And all these Gen Z examples that everybody's afraid of. But and on like one hand, I'm like, whoa, that's really weird, right? Like, where did that come from? But on the other hand, I'm like, but my kid is a Gen Z and she's nothing like that. And her friends are nothing like that. And so
Exactly.
maybe it's like geographical. Maybe it's some like trendy subculture or whatever that's been like over popularized online. I don't know, but I think because my kid is a Gen Z and I don't see any of that reflected in my
Yeah.
kid or the people she keeps close to her. I'm like, that's not what I think of when I think of Gen Z or the next generation. I do know that there's always going to be a generation gap and we are never going to be on the same page as the generation that comes after us, but I don't think we can be because the world we leave them is never the world we grew up in, not ever.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I have a hard time. There are some things that I don't understand, and there are some things that I think have been taken too far. But I think a lot of people could have said that about my generation. And when I look at the examples of things that they say are being taken too far, I don't necessarily think that these things can be blamed on that generation because that generation wasn't old enough to be making those decisions. So,
That's
I think the blame doesn't necessarily lie on them for the things that they're even being blamed for. And I think you can say the same thing of millennials, right? They said a lot of millennials are lazy, millennials are this, millennials are that. Millennials did what Gen X told us to do. It's just that
yeah.
wages stayed stagnant and the cost of living skyrocketed and we were competing with baby boomers, the biggest generation, right, in an oversaturated market because you haven't retired yet and we're competing with that, right?
Yeah.
Like what are we and so I think it's a lot of that too. I don't know.
No, I think that was well said. Like I I can't argue with anything you said. I see it so much in Canada right now. Like especially what you said about the boomers. Like and I'm not saying anything against that generation, but at the
No,
same time,
it's they're just big and they fill up the market. They fill up this. They don't leave a lot of room for other people to enter.
and then all of a sudden this other wave like Gen X, like we're almost like the forgotten generation because we're just so small and please just leave us alone. We just let us go back to our caves, like sniff some glue or whatever. Bad joke.
Well, I think if you look in history, there are a few generations that get overlooked. And it's generations that are either a transition generation or generations that have struggled. For example, the silent generation is a generation who went through the Great Depression,
Mm-hmm.
right? And why are they the silent generation? Well, there wasn't a lot of like protests, there wasn't a lot of political
They
upheaval.
just pulled up their
Everybody
bootstraps and did it.
every, everybody was too busy trying to survive, right?
Yeah.
They head down, work. Um and I think Gen X you had two things. You are Gen X is like I would consider them like a transition generation between analog and digital. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the millennials get that too, but I didn't always know computers the same way Gen X didn't always know computers, but I had a computer lab in elementary
Yeah.
school, right? where Gen X, it was what? Junior high, high school before you even saw a block Mac computer?
Yeah.
Right. So I would say,
Or they had
okay,
the punch cards.
yeah, I would say most of my generation, because I'm the older part of my generation, and I
Yeah,
had the block Macs in elementary school, right?
yeah.
So most of, like, a lot of my generation has never not known computers,
Mhm.
right? So I would consider Gen X that transitional phase. On top of that, it is when the economy started turning enough that it was the beginning of needing two-income households. Now it's a necessity. But
Yeah.
you guys were the beginning of needing a two-income household. And because of that, you were latchkey kids. And latchkey kids grew up real quick taking care of themselves. They didn't draw attention to
They're raised
themselves.
by wolves.
They didn't want to draw attention to themselves, in my opinion, because it would cost them their freedom.
Mhm. Yeah, we were kind of raised by wolves. Like, you just leave us alone. No, well, like, plus sometimes it felt like I was taking care of my parents. You know what? I think
Mm-hmm.
you can relate to that. Like, there's been points you're you're a kid, but this is going on in your family, so you just act normal, but you're having to take on more adult roles than
Yep.
you really want to deal with. Like, really get
Or
it
that you
together.
should have to. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Get it together.
And I was a bit of a latchkey kid by necessity too. I mean, when I was young, when I was real young, I had babysitters and stuff, right? But I mean, for
Oh
like the
yeah,
most part, it was me and my siblings, you know?
well, once I think the legal age in Alberta was 9 or 10 to babysit.
I think it's 12. I think it used to be 12 here, and now I think it's older to
This is
babysit, but 12 you can be home alone.
If it was a sibling, you could be a younger age. So,
Yeah.
you know, so, we'd walk home from school like 8 years old. Like,
Oh no, now that I did do. I walked home from elementary school all the time. Like it was nothing.
yeah, well, now
I
it's,
also I also, you ready for this? This floored Super Munchkin. She said she couldn't go off campus for lunch her freshman year of high school, and that threw me. I was like, "What? They won't let you go off campus?"
yeah.
And she was like, "No." And I was like, "Sweetie, I went off campus for lunch in the second grade." She was like, "No way." And I was like, "Yes." 1.5 blocks from my school was this place called the Yellow Jacket. And a lot of the older kids like to go there for lunch. But because it was so close, my happy little ass in the second grade would just walk to the Yellow Jacket for lunch. Second grade. And I'd run back. I'd be running back. I'd be like, "I don't have time. She's going to blow the whistle." Like be running back. Um, and so it floored me. I was like, "What do you mean they keep you prisoner at lunch?" What is this? Plus, I don't think they give them long enough for lunch. No,
No,
it was
well, yeah.
like watching her go to school. I literally watched it happen. I watched their lunch get shorter and shorter, and their recess get shorter and shorter, and their classes get just a little bit longer. And all of a sudden, they had an extra class, whole extra class, right?
Well,
But like and that bothers me because education is great, but it shouldn't come at the cost of one's health.
mhm.
And teaching kids to eat in such an unhealthy manner like bothered me. I remember
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah.
this teacher got so mad at me because she sent a note home and she was like, "Super Munchkin," I almost did it. "Super Munchkin doesn't have recess time because she's really slow eater, and I'll tell her to hurry
That
up,
shouldn't
but
be
she
your
doesn't."
problem.
No, and I wrote back and I was like, you realize that eating slow is good for you, your digestive
Go
system,
fuck
and your
yourself.
metabolism, right? Like,
But
you're not supposed to inhale your food like an industrial vacuum.
you're
So I'm not
learning to
like,
me.
yeah, I was like, don't teach her bad habits or ask me to
Exactly.
encourage her to have bad habits because I'm not going to do it.
I totally agree with that. Like, I do think it teaches unhealthy habits, or in a lot of cases, kids just don't eat because
Well,
it's, you know what I mean? And that's even unhealthier. You're either
yeah.
eating fast or you don't eat at all.
Well, both are unhealthy because when you eat fast, you are more likely to overeat and not get enough nutrients out of it
Yeah,
because
exactly.
first of all, our food is packed with so many preservatives these days. But why are preservatives preservatives? They are preservatives because bacteria has a hard time breaking it down, which means the bacteria in your stomach is also going to have to work harder to break it down. So, and you have to break it down in order to get nutrients out of it. So, the more you chew your food, the easier that's going to be on your body. But on top of that, when you're full, you don't actually know you're full. It
Yeah,
takes some time from being full to feeling full.
I
And
just
if you're eating fast, you're going to miss that mark.
no, I just got to check my router.
Yeah, no problem.
No, it's good. We're good. It's still charged. No, sometimes it overheats and I have to throw it in the fridge. It's a fun thing. It's like, it's not good with heat. I'm like, it's not that hot.
It's why the first people done at the dinner table are always like, "Oh, I ate too much. I'm so full." It's because they kept eating after they were full because their body hadn't registered it yet.
I'm someone who likes to have a little bit and a little bit and a little bit. You know, like I can't eat a whole big, and that's so hard at big family dinners because everyone expects you to eat everything at once. And it's like, well, I'm used to eating just a little bit and then a little bit and a little bit, and I cannot eat this fast. But you get almost get forced to, like guilted in by your family, eat so fast.
I just won't. They've gotten used to me. They've gotten used to me. They know I'm going to be the last one finished. They know they should not wait for me for dessert. They know that I am always going to be the one asking for a to-go box,
Yeah.
right? Like, these are all just givens about me, especially if I don't order off the kids' menu, even though sometimes I order off the kids' menu and I still need a to-go box. I'm like, that you give all that to a fucking kid? What is wrong with you people?
I
Like,
know sometimes I've been
like, that
like,
is so much for, but I also am not the healthiest. Now, it depends. I will say it depends on my activity level. I've noticed my diet fluctuates with my activity level. If I'm constantly like now that I've been in quarantine and I've just been in my office working and attempting to take care of the puppy, I've actually been eating less. And I think it's because I'm cooped up, right? I typically eat the equivalent of one meal a day, but I split it into two sessions, if that makes sense. And it's usually dinner, like a snack before dinner and then dinner. It's usually just that, or just dinner. But I don't usually eat outside of that. However, if it's a day where I'm like running errands, I'll find like, and I'm just everywhere all day long. And I don't mean errands like going to the grocery store. I mean like if I am
like all the
going out and mowing 2 acres and helping people with this and helping, then I tend to eat 2 meals. Now if I'm on vacation, that is a one time. I always eat 2 meals and sometimes three, and that is because I will pack my days with physical activities. I'm like, all right, we're going to go horseback riding, and then we're going to go do this, and then we're going to go hiking, and then we're going to go snorkeling, and then we're going to we're going to go parasailing. We're going to walk this museum, then we're going to go over here, and so that is, and so it's like the more active I am, like the more I eat. Like, it's still
That's
small portions, but I
that
eat
is healthy.
more often.
Yeah, I just find sometimes it's like I've had so much pressure for like breakfast before work, and I'm like, oh my God, if I have a breakfast, I either need to like sleep or like, it's too much. Like, it's too much for me. And
Breakfast is breakfast is a con for anyone not getting up and immediately doing physical activity,
exactly.
or anyone getting up and taking a test. Now, if you're taking a test, you don't want a heavy breakfast, but if you eat some eggs and some blueberries, you are set because you've got protein and glucose.
Yeah.
But like, breakfast, I think, were made for like people who were like out on the farms working all day, right? Like, if you were gonna work till sundown, and have a quick break for lunch, then you needed to pack in some
You need
calories
a lot
that
of
morning, right?
stuff. Yeah.
Most of us don't need it. Breakfast doesn't have to be a morning meal. It's in the name. Commercially, we made it a morning meal because of like Kellogg's cornflakes and all of this stuff, right? Commercially, we said it's the most important meal of the day: breakfast, breakfast, breakfast. Yes, it is, and no, it's not. Here's why. It is the most important meal of the day is the meal where you break your fast, because that determines what fuels your body and what your body's going to crave. But breakfast doesn't mean you wake up and eat either.
I
That's just
know.
something we attach to it.
I know. And it is very much what you said about the commercialism, the Kellogg's, all these, you have to do this in order to.
Eat your Wheaties.
Yes, exactly. And a lot of us, we don't operate like that. Like some mornings, oh yeah, I could eat like a whole like platter of eggs and bacon and everything before work, but I'm going into a landscaping job. And that's probably going to
Exactly.
be my only meal of the day. And I probably worked like 3 days without a meal. I
Yep.
finally got paid so I can buy that breakfast.
I do listen to my cravings too. Now,
Yeah, I
I
think
know I know intuitive eating is a bunch of crap, but here's why it's a bunch of crap for most people. It's because if you eat a bunch of junk food, your body craves a bunch of junk food. And I'm not saying I don't eat junk food. I like a
we all do.
pizza just like everybody else, right? But like, if that's what you constantly eat, then that's what you constantly crave. And so when you're listening to your cravings, guess what you're craving, right? So
Yeah,
when I say I listen to my cravings, I don't mean like, ooh, pizza sounds good, let me go jump on that pizza, right? I mean I listen to my body. Like,
I really want some spinach or a tomato.
if I'm feeling like particularly heavy, or I'm feeling, or I've been like pretty sedimentary,
Yeah,
I tend to go for like vegetables, some fruit, maybe some rice, just some white rice, with black beans
yeah,
or something simple like that. But like, if I'm doing a lot of workouts, then I want more protein.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I should eat eggs, and like, I should eat
I
this.
know. Well, and I think that kind of intuitive eating is totally healthy because that's what your body is, but you're looking for healthy stuff. You're looking for you're looking for the eggs, you're looking for the veggies,
Exactly.
you know, I gotta let you go. Thank you for letting
Okay,
me on, Pixie, and
of course.
so happy about Copper.
Me too. He's
I,
doing so
and
good.
I know it's only 2 weeks and then 4 weeks. You are almost done puppy
Almost
quarantine.
done.
You're almost done. He's gonna be worth it. He just loves you so much. He's just like,
Yes. And yeah. And until I feel rested, I will keep reminding myself of that.
I know. It's gonna be hard, Mama. Love to you for Mama.
Bye, sweetie. Sweetness. I'm sorry. I forgot that some places don't like sweetie. Bye, sweetness. I really wasn't trying to be insulting, I swear on my life. I'm really tired, and Sweetie just came out, and then I forgot that some people don't like that. Right. My bad. Sweetness is better, so. I wonder why Midnight never came back. Probably because he's like, that bitch is like sleep deprived and borderline delirious, and I want no part of that nonsense. That's probably what's going on there. Luckily, though, tomorrow we start the night shift. Now, we are starting with the night shift because it was suggested that short stories were a better thing to start with. After completing night shift, we can go any direction, and I will need my book club people to vote on that. We can go to a series like the Dark Tower series. We can go to more short stories like Maps in the Mirror. We can do fiction. We can do nonfiction. We can do philosophy or psychology or biology. Yes, I'm weird. I have books like biology books. Like I have a book called Immune. That one's pretty cool. Yeah, it makes your immune system seem really interesting. But I'm also weird. I have some philosophy books. I have some historical books, like a book about Black Elk and things like that. I have mythology books from like the natives and Greek and Roman and all kinds of stuff. I'm so tired, but I can't sleep yet. I can't sleep yet. Where's Copper? Copper's sleeping. Copper can sleep. That's okay. It's so weird. Like, I know he's doing better, and I know he's eating, and I know he's like getting his energy back, but sometimes I still panic. Yes, I'm like really traumatized because I woke up after falling asleep for like 30 minutes one night when I was taking care of his sister before we lost her, and I couldn't find her, and I found her hiding in this corner, and I brought her out, and I was loving on her, and I fed her and all of that, and she just like literally died in my arms. So I like looked at the bed back there and didn't see him, and I looked this way and didn't see him, and it freaked me out. I was like, where's Copper? But he's on his little pillow throne right there, doing just fine and taking a nap. Yeah, definitely can't give that baby up now. I think after all this, I'm pretty attached to the little guy. Even though he's gonna be tiny, he's so tiny. I got this pet door for my dogs because 50 pounds, 60 pounds, it's like this high up. I don't know if he's gonna get big enough to use the pet door. And I mean, I bet if I built him like a little stool, like a little staircase or a little ramp, like a little, then he could. I might have to do that. He's cute though. I'm so tired. I don't even know if I make much sense sometimes. I'm not good at rambling though, and I can't go to sleep, and I can't start book club early. Can't. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Is Monkey still alive? Maybe I'll go over there. It depends on the topic though, because I don't know that I have the energy for some topics at the moment. No. Anyway, Copper is adorable. And I'm sorry I missed the official Start of Book Club and had to make a new official Start of Book Club. But yes, that will definitely happen. Tomorrow. I don't know what time though. I've got to quit yawning. Really sleepy. Somebody can talk to me because I can't sleep yet. Even though I really, really want to. Like, really want to. I don't have to work tomorrow, though. That is a really, really good thing. And I ran out of energy drinks last week, and I haven't been able to get any. Maybe I'll get some. There's only one kind I drink, and I usually only drink it before a workout, but I think I could definitely use some right now. You know? I don't like monologuing on good days. Definitely don't like monologuing on sleep-deprived days. I look like shit. I look like I'm just gonna like pass the fuck out any minute. It's okay. You don't have to look cute in quarantine. I need to pop my back. Oh, that felt better. Oh, that's what I haven't done all week. I haven't done a workout all week. This is no bueno. I'm gonna have to figure that out. He's so cute. I am still alive. I had to shut down the first one though because I accidentally said Super Munchkin's name because I'm so sleep deprived. Did you see Copper Mac? He's closing out checks, so maybe he didn't hear me. Oh, okay, he did. He's so cute. Yes, so when I had to take down for saying Super Munchkin's name, which I almost did again. He is sleeping, and I'm kind of jealous, but I can't sleep yet. You know what song? Okay. There's two songs I used to sing to her. One when she would like throw a temper tantrum when she was little. I would sing It's the End of the World as We Know It and I Feel Fine. And she was very annoyed by that. And I thought it was hilarious. And the other one, oh, I can't say it. Well, it's not her name. No, I'm not going to make that decision while I'm sleep deprived. But the other one could be like could be a shortened version of her name for anyone who knows it. Mac, I'm gonna text it to you because you're the one I wanted to say that to because it's funny. If I can even find, there you are. That one. we'll do that one too. That one she thinks is funnier though. She finds that one more amusing. Anyway. I'm sorry. That was really rude of me to be like, I saw my buddy down there and I was like, I'm gonna tell my buddy something. And then I was like, wait, my sleep deprived ass is live. And then I'm like, I'm gonna text my buddy that. Only I just said that to all of you, like you weren't even here and I wasn't even live. And that was really fucking rude of me, but my apologies. I might be borderline delirious. Things slip out that shouldn't. Which is why this is live number 2, because apparently couldn't keep Super Munchkin's name from slipping. I'm debating whether I should close my window or not. I lean towards no, but somebody's really intent on those fireworks. And I don't even mean like the big cool ones. It's just a bunch of little noisy ones over and 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 over again. With nothing pretty to show for it. My first name, well, even my middle name, my name is probably pretty common. I mean, like, first of all, my first name is really common. My second name is pretty common. Not quite as common as my first name, but it's pretty common. I have a plain name overall. The combination of my first and middle name also probably not anywhere close to unique. So Super Munchkin's name, I mean, it's not one of a kind, but it is definitely far more unique than my name. So I am. I don't know. I don't know what I was going to say. I don't remember. I started reading the comments and the thought went by. And then it didn't come back. And then I had more thoughts that were completely irrelevant. And then I had some thoughts that were not appropriate to say. And then I looked blankly at the camera, and then I said, I forgot what I was going to say because it was true. And I'm so tired. Okay. At least I'm not like super grumpy, I guess. Right. Super Munchkin is one of a kind. I almost named her Amara, but I didn't. Okay, I will be right back. I'm gonna close my window before those people drive me fucking bananas. I mean, I'll still hear it, but it won't be as, like, distracting or whatever, hopefully. Alright, at least I started shooting some pretty ones that I can look at, but I shouldn't look that way because, like, I am so sleep deprived. But it doesn't stop, like, all the thoughts, just, and I'm gonna start talking, and I'm gonna look at one of those, and I'm gonna forget which thought I'm supposed to be following, and I'm gonna say the wrong fucking thing. And I'm either not gonna make sense, like I'm gonna switch thoughts halfway through a sentence, and I'm gonna sound ridiculous, or I'm gonna say something I shouldn't say. And neither of those is a particularly good option. So, I think between that and me not being great at monologuing on the best of days, I might just shut it down pretty quick. I thought, though, that the book club people would want to know why I missed the first official reading of the book club. My bad. I'm sorry. I did not foresee Puppy Parvo in my future when I said that day. So, my bad. Cool. On that note, I am going to find something to occupy me and keep me awake for a couple of more hours before I can go to bed. What time is it? It's 10. I've got, 2 or 3 more hours before I can go to bed. You, pretty shiny peoples, have a lovely night. And thank you for coming by and seeing the little guy. Here, I'll get him. I'll get him to say bye, since this is his stream. Hey, Copper. Hi, baby. Can we say bye? Say bye. Say bye.